Hey Tribe, today's video is going to teach you 4 different positions of the quadruped to help build your core and all-around rotation of your body. First one we're going to start on is going to be the basic quadruped position, and that's going to put us down on the knees and the hands. When we're in this position, we want to make sure that the shoulders are stacking up over the wrists and the hip are stacking directly over the knee. In general, the spacing is for the legs is just going to be at hip width, so we don't want the legs way out here. We don't want them really close, and the same thing with the upper body, keeping it natural. We want the weight distributed front and back relatively even, and then we are having a small arch in the back here so we can focus on a little bit of engagement into the core. When we're going into the quadruped position, this is pretty much it. When we refer to it, we like to lift the knees up off the ground. And when we lift the knees up, we should be focusing on feeling the core. If we relax this and we create the arch in the back, then we're going to feel the tension that's going on in here. We do not want that. So we're going to try and push this a little bit up to the sky, feel the abs kick in, and that's where we're going to start with the quadruped position. Now, just holding that, thank you, relax. Just holding that position is going to be good and it's going to kind of create the feeling of a plank. But we can start creating movement in the body to target different abdominal muscles, whether that's going to be the external or internal obliques or the rectus abdominis that's right up in front. The first one we're going to just work on after we get into that knees up quadruped position is just doing shoulder taps. So she's going to bring the elbow back behind her and try to touch the arm on the same side, or touch the same side shoulder as with that arm. Now we're going to work that back and forth. Try to shoot for 3 seconds of our 3 rounds of 30 seconds is a good way to start. We can increase that time frame as well, or you can adjust according to how many reps you want to do and relax. If we feel good in that position, and it's relatively easy, we can take that next step. This way we're going to work on opposite arm and opposite leg. So we're going to work in a quadruped position of the bird dog. So she's going to lift the knees up, and then we're going to extend out an opposite arm, opposite leg the best that we can. Then bring that in, place it down, keeping the core engaged the entire time, lift it up on the opposite way and extend it out. If we're having balance issues, I highly suggest keep the knees down and just work on opposites so you can get that pattern of knowing the right arm with the left leg, left arm with right leg. And what you'd all might notice is that before Nadine brought the knees back down to the ground, another way to help us create stability into that core is that she widened those legs a little bit into that bird dog, or that bird dog. So then we're keeping that hover, and now we can do that same thing again of just reaching out in the opposites. All that focus should be on the core, making sure that's staying engaged and we're not feeling it into the lower back. Good, Nadine, relax. So that first movement is just doing that quadruped and getting the shoulder taps in. The second one is going to be going into that quadruped, elevate those knees, and try to go into the bird dips. Bird dogs. Bird dogs?
Yeah.
Bird dogs. Bird dips are different. Anyways, we're going to go on to that third position. So the third position that we're going to do is going to be the bear crunch. So this, instead of extending the arms out and the legs out, we're going to use the opposites, and we're going to try and bring them in with a little bit of rotation as well too. So we're going to elevate those knees a little bit. Then we're going to pick up the opposites again. We're going to try and bring them together, and we can create a little bit of a rotation, rotate back, and then switch that up. Lift those up, touch the knee to the elbow, and then go back. What you're going to find her doing is she's going to lift off the arm and the leg first. We're looking for balance to kick in. And then once we have that balance, try to create that rotation and touch and relax. So those are going to be your bear crunches, and that's going to be the third step, or third most toughest, kind of tough challenge. Progression. Thank you very much, Nadine, for those words. The third progression in there. And finally, we have our fourth one, which is going to be the quadruped rotation. And when we're doing the quadruped rotation, it's a little bit of a mix of everything. We're going to go on the opposites. We're going to create a full rotation on the body. So we're going to lift that up, rotate all the way around. We're going to put the hand down. The hips are staying up off the ground, and we're just extending that foot up. We're going to come back up, lift that up, rotate back around, and then we're going to do the opposites. This one's always tricky. This is the one that confuses a lot of people on which way the leg should go. And the way I always look at it is if we look at our body as a bridge, when we lift the leg up, the leg is always going underneath the bridge. It's always going to sweep underneath our body. What we do see occasionally in classes is, I'm going to have Nadine do this, is we're going to rotate in the opposite direction. So we're going to lift the leg up, and we're going to try and bring that leg over the top, so she's going to rotate towards me. And what happens is we get this rotation and this kind of like fall to the other side, and then we're kind of trying to figure out how to do opposites and then bring ourselves back over. It's just really weird and funky. So remember, when we're doing the quadruped rotation, whatever leg we lift up off the ground, it is going to go underneath the bridge, underneath the body, rotating down. And we're trying to put that arm behind us. This is the other aspect that a lot of people have a hard time doing, is getting that full rotation and allowing ourselves to put your body back down here. So if we can't do the full rotation, feel free to go through a partial rotation. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast when we go through these, and relax. So we went through those 4 different progressions in the quadruped position. First one, we want to get the knees underneath the hips. We want the hands underneath the shoulders. Find balance in that and just try to lift the knees off the ground. We're only looking for about 1 inch of elevation. Lift it a little bit higher, we'll make it a little bit easier. We'll start off with the shoulder taps of pulling the hands or the elbows behind the body, getting the hand to touch close to the armpit. Then we're going to move on into the bird dogs, where we're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg. Then we're going to go into the bear crunch of now we're bringing those 2 together, that knee to the elbow with the rotation. And finally, we're going to do those quadruped rotations. Try those out. It's going to hit every bit of your core. Great exercise, and also help you improve your rotation and strength in the shoulders and mobility up there as well too. Let us know what you think. We'll see you guys next week.